It had been a blustery morning. Katie discovered that brightly colored leaves not only fall, they swirl and dance in the wind. Orbie found out the wind can go right through a sweater and give you a chill. And they both learned that coloring outside on a windy day isn't going to work. As the two friends headed outside for more adventures, Mom said something that stopped Katie and Orbie in their tracks. Tonight she was making their extra special favorite dessert. Katie grinned and asked, "Chocolate fudge brownies?" Mom nodded. Orbie twitched and burbled, "With ice cream and hot fudge sauce?" Mom nodded again, and she added, "With whipped cream and nuts." The two small friends and one mother all sighed with pleasure just thinking about it. Mom said they'd better go outside and work up an appetite. And I have to tell you, Katie and Orbie didn't need to be told twice. Off they ran out the door. Yi Ping was just coming out, too. They all decided to play a game of horses together. They trotted around the yard, making whinnying sounds. The friends pretended that they were horses pulling a magic coach so the princess could escape from the evil wizard. When they arrived safely at the princess's castle, the horses sank to the ground. They were very tired. Yi Ping's mother called from the door, asking if they would like some cookies. Yi Ping was definitely in the mood for cookies. Her mom brought out enough for all of them. Yi Ping took 2, Katie took only 1, Orbie accepted 3 cookies, just so the plate would be clean. Then Yi Ping had to get ready for her doctor's appointment. She wasn't sick, it was just a regular checkup. So Katie and Orbie said goodbye and wandered off towards Mrs. Perrette's house. The wind had finally stopped blustering and Mrs. Perrette was trying to rake and bag her leaves. But it was kind of difficult to hold the big bag open and stuff in leaves when you're all alone. Katie and Orbie asked if they could help. Mrs. Perrette was thrilled. Orbie raked and chased stray leaves, and Katie held the bag while Mrs. Perrette stuffed. Now, I have to tell you that a job done all by yourself feels like work. But that same job done with helping friends turns into fun. And these 3 friends were having a ball. And when they were done, Mrs. Perrette said they deserved a treat, and she had just the thing. As they sat down at the kitchen table, Mrs. Perrette drizzled white, sugary icing on warm buns and cut them apart. They were called sticky buns, and Katie and Orbie loved them. Mrs. Perrette said that they were very good with butter on them. Katie thought butter sounded nice, and she had some on a small bun. Orbie couldn't make up his mind, so he decided to do a taste test. He had 1 big sticky bun without butter, and then another big sticky bun with butter. He decided they were both excellent. Back outside, the friends spotted Tom picking vegetables in his family's garden. Katie and Orbie went over and asked if they could help. Tom showed them what to do, and together they picked all the squash, eggplants, beets, turnips, zucchini, and potatoes. Tom had a basket for each kind of vegetable, and the 2 friends helped put them in the right place. He wanted to get the last of the vegetables out of the garden before the frost came. Now, frost was very pretty to look at, but it damaged the vegetables, and then you couldn't eat them. Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, Tom, Katie, and Orbie were pretty tired and thirsty when they were done. Tom thanked the 2 friends for helping. He offered them hot chocolate and a slice of his mother's homemade pumpkin pie. Soon they were at the table in Tom's house. Katie loved her hot chocolate, but she remembered about the yummy dessert that Mom was making and said no thank you to the pie. Orbie knew that Tom's mom made excellent pumpkin pie, and so he just had to have a piece. He even nodded yes to whipped cream on the top of the thick slice. When they had finished, Katie and Orbie walked home. Orbie told Katie that his tummy was pretty full. When they got home, Mom told him that they were just in time for dinner. And Katie smiled. She was starving, but Orbie didn't feel so happy about it. Katie and Orbie hugged and kissed Dad and washed their hands and took their places at the table. Mom had been cooking all afternoon. The table was loaded down with food. Dad said Mom had outdone herself, and he applauded. There was chicken with stuffing, gravy, and potatoes, corn, broccoli with cheese sauce, and dinner rolls. Katie thought it looked delicious and couldn't wait for her first bite. Orbie, on the other hand, thought it looked good, but he didn't feel like eating it. His tummy was saying no. Orbie asked for small servings, and he did eat, but soon all that delicious food started to make him feel sick. Katie and yum all the way through her dinner. It was terrific. Dad asked if she would like some more, and Katie said she thought she'd just save some room for dessert. Dessert, their extra special, not-to-be-believed favorite chocolate fudge brownie dessert. Orbie had forgotten all about it. Orbie slumped in his chair. He couldn't even eat one bite. Katie sat up tall and couldn't wait for Mom to come in with it. She got up to give Mom a hand. When Katie and Mom brought in the heaping bowls, Orbie sighed and burbled sadly that he was too full to eat any. Mom and Dad were surprised. As Orbie watched everybody loving their desserts, he thought about all the things he'd eaten. The 3 cookies were good, and the sticky buns were good too. So was the pie, but the thing was that none of them compared to their extra special, not-to-be-believed favorite chocolate hot fudge brownie dessert. Orbie had ruined his appetite. Mom and Dad told him that he needed to plan a little better next time. Mom had told them of the treat that they were having, and he should have said no thank you, or had smaller portions like Katie so he wouldn't miss the fun. Orbie agreed. He was in charge of what went into his tummy. He hadn't been very good at taking care of that. But I have to tell you that from that day on, Orbie did some good tummy planning. And the next time they had their extra special, not-to-be-believed favorite chocolate hot fudge brownie dessert, Orbie had enough room for a great big piece. And do you know that you need to do some good tummy planning too? After all, you are growing a healthy body that needs good food. Remember to save just the right amount of room for yummy desserts.